Hi everyone, my name is Jane Hawkey and I'm a senior science communicator at EAN. I'm going to spend a little time with you to talk about using your photos in reports, posters, and presentations. So, building on the lecture that Guy Stevens presented, I'm going to show some examples of photos that demonstrate how and why they are so effective. Here is an aerial photo of the Missouri River at flood. This is an excellent image that quickly provides an overview and conveys the scale of the threat, while at the same time capturing and preserving a transitory event. A photo can convey information across cultural boundaries, language barriers, and education levels without a word of text. This photo shows the malaria mosquito as it transmits the disease. No translation or explanation required. For scientific methods and techniques, photos are a great tool. This image provides a clear demonstration of how to measure the carapace of a crab that may not take the place of text, but definitely enhances it. So start with a photo with the appropriate composition for your story and the highest resolution you can obtain. Then use software to transform your good photo into a great photo. On the left, the original photo was taken from a distance and the fisherman almost too tiny to see. However, using Photoshop, the image was cropped to bring the focus on the fisherman and the motion of the net being cast. One thing to remember, however, is that when you severely crop a large image, you will have the most flexibility and be able to maintain the most resolution if you start with the original digital copy. The top photo on the right captured the relevant subject, that is, seagrass in murky water. But by using Photoshop's tone, contrast, and color adjustments to the photo at the bottom, the seagrass pops from the background, while at the same time retaining the murkiness of the water. So let's talk a bit about preparing your photos for inclusion in different products, both projected and printed. Look for inspiring but relevant photos. Each image should be integral to your story. When possible, start with the original digital image. It will provide more options for use. And always check the copyright on any photo not your own. If you have inquired and been granted permission by the photographer to use the image, be sure to credit the photographer. A consistent style to your photos will give your audience a sense of continuity. So if you decide to use color photos or black and white photos, use that color scheme throughout. Choose a standard photo size and stick with it. Create a text style for your captions and credits, and place them in the same location for each image. Photo editing software like Photoshop can transform a good photo into a great photo. And while there are lots of amazing tools in Photoshop, here are some basics you will need to know to prepare your photos for insertion into any type of document. Photos are raster images, also known as bitmaps. This means they are made up of pixels and so are resolution dependent. For example, when you enlarge or stretch a raster image, it loses resolution. This is unlike vector images, such as conceptual diagrams with which you are familiar, that can be resized without losing resolution. For projected products, there are two primary file types. PNG files carry a transparency option and are compressed, making them generally smaller files, both features that are helpful for web and PowerPoints. You may have heard of GIF files, but they have been mostly replaced by PNGs. There are two types typically used for printed products. TIFF files maintain the original image quality regardless of how many times you edit the same file, but they can be large. JPEG files are compressed and so smaller, but each time you edit them, some resolution is lost. Unfortunately, neither offer a transparency option. There are two color schemes to choose from depending on your final product. RGB, red, green, blue, is used when colors are displayed as light, such as on a computer monitor, TV, or projection screen. CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, black, is used when colors are displayed as ink, such as in printed documents. Photoshop allows you to choose the appropriate color scheme. Photo resolution makes a big difference. The higher the density of pixels in your raster image, the higher the resolution. So why not make all your photos high resolution? Well, because using photos that have too high a resolution for a projected product, for example, will create a huge PowerPoint or web file, too big perhaps to be manageable. And photos with too low a resolution for a printed product, such as a poster or report, will be fuzzy. Note the difference between the same image shown here at two different resolutions. Photoshop enables you to set the appropriate resolution. So for all projected products, 96 dpi will provide clear images for your PowerPoint or website. For all print products, 300 dpi will give you sharp, crisp images for your report or poster. So here are a few key points to remember. Find good photos that are relevant to your story. Use photo editing software to enhance the photos. Create a consistent style for continuity. Choose the correct color scheme and resolution. And lastly, save the photos in the appropriate file format for your final product. Thanks for spending some time with me today.